Shalom, shalom, everyone. This is CINCINNATI Israel with another edition of the School of Knowledge on Shabbat class. We'd like to welcome you all to the class. Those that are in the listening audience and to YouTube and all across the world, we say shalom, shalom. We're glad to have you today. It's a beautiful day of rest. We hope that you all are enjoying your day of rest and you are doing and being obedient to what the Most High says we are supposed to do. We are continuing our lesson on the wilderness. I'm going to open up my screen in a moment for you guys to be able to see my screen. And we just say shalom, shalom to everyone. It's been a beautiful day. Happy to be here. And I just wanted to make sure that we all have that. If by chance you have some issues with your phone, again, please put it on mute so that we can... So we all can hear the class without any interruptions of any kind. If you have a question, don't hesitate to put it in the chat line, and we say shalom, shalom to you. All right, I'm going to open up my screen. For you all who cannot see the screen today, send us an email at the Yehudah Project at gmail.com. It is the Yehudah, YEHUDAH, Project, PROJECT, at gmail.com. And then the person that's in charge of the School of Knowledge will send you the information so that you will be able to see the screen next time. The only thing you won't be able to see today is the pictures, because all of the things that we're coming out of, most of it, the 95% of it is biblical scripture, so you will be able to see all of those things. All right, I'm going to open up my screen. Let me know if you can see it.
Yes.
Everybody see it? All right, the wilderness.
Yes.
Next page.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
All right, here we go. The next page. We're going to Isaiah chapter 35, because Isaiah chapter 35 talks about what the wilderness is going to be like. It's not a very long chapter, but it's a very necessary. So I'm going to start with the reading, and then once I finish, I will stop and ask if anyone has any questions. All right, it says the wilderness, Isaiah chapter 35, verse 1, the wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose. It shall blossom abundantly and rejoice, even with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it. The excellency of Carmel and Sharon, they shall see the glory of the Most High and the excellency of our Elohim. Strengthen ye the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees. That's what he says. Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your Elohim will come with vengeance, even Elohim with a recompense. He will come and save. So that means that no matter what's happening now or what's going to be happening then, the Most High is coming for his people.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what. All right, here we go. He said, then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf unstopped. Then shall the lame man leap as the harp, and the tongue of the dumb sing, for in the wilderness shall waters break out and streams in the desert. So then to me that means that there's going to be healing there. You may come in one way, but you're not going to stay that way. He said, and the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. In the habitation of dragons, where each lay, shall be grass with reeds and rushes. So this place is a desert right now. It's nothing but pure desert. But when the time comes, these things are going to start happening to the land, and people are going to be astonished, like, what is going on? Ain't nothing supposed to be growing out there. But it's all in preparation for Israel coming back to the land. We have to go back to our land. Watch. He said, and a highway shall be there, a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those, the wayfaring men, though fools shall not err therein. He said, no lion shall be there, nor any ravenous beast shall go up thereon. It shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there. So we ain't going to have to worry about no wild animals and nobody doing nothing to us. He said, and the ransomed of the Most High shall return and come to Zion with song and with everlasting joy upon their head. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away. What does that tell you? Anybody have a comment about that?
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, it's going to definitely be something different. Definitely be something different. Because guess what it tells me? It ain't going to be no stoves and no refrigerators, and you ain't going to have no coolers with no ice in it. It ain't going to be no beers there. It ain't going to be no alcohol there. It's just going to be us and the nature and the Most High and the wilderness and water. In other words, life as we know it is going to change.
If I might add, Sidonia, if I might add, is that the living waters, if you go back and read what you were saying, you understand that those living waters, once we start partaking of those living waters, all those ailments and things that we've acquired in these captivities, you understand, will go away. One other thing I want to say is that that it mentions that they are, none of the peoples with faint-hearted and all of those peoples that been against us in our captivity is not going to go into the wilderness. Go back and read it.
Now, that is a very interesting point that you make, and, we will definitely have to investigate that because that's...
Go back and read it. It says it right there. If you go back, you can read it.
Let me go back. Where you want me to go to?
Okay, and the highway shall be there, and the way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those, the wayfaring men. Those fools shall not err therein.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. I understand. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
That's what it says. It don't say that those that are unclean is not going to go in. So when I said that.
Can I ask you a question? You said unclean. What is your definition of unclean?
Those that are not set aside by the Almighty. When we say
those that are not set apart.
Well, I mean, it's a little more in depth than that too. Is that those that don't take on the understanding of the Almighty, you understand, which want to talk about it's about something else. It's not about the Almighty. It's not about the keeping the laws, the statutes, and the commandments. They don't want to do that. It's not going to be recognized. That's
and even if I'd like to add to that, even some of the Gentiles who everybody thinks is going to make it in, these people are still doing what they normally do, and they're still pagan worshiping. And they still do not want to accept the fact that we are the people. They are still going along with the narrative that they know is fake and false because it lends to the credibility of their version of the story. So, when you start talking about that and you start weeding that out, it leaves very few. And even with Israel, it's Israel that's not going to make it.
It does. It leaves very few because very few people, like he was saying, very few people. Now, we talk a game, but very few people are living a set-apart life.
That is correct. want to, in our heart, to do certain things, but the condition that we in don't allow us.
Right. All right. Let's move on.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
We're reading from Isaiah. What chapter and verses?
We're in Isaiah chapter 35, and we went from verses 1 through 10, because it's only 10 chapters.
Okay.
10 verses.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, and then we have to go into, because a lot of people say, we're not living a righteous life, but then we have to figure out what righteousness really is.
You got to include circumcision.
And Deuteronomy chapter 6 tells us what a righteousness is. In Deuteronomy chapter 6, let me find that verse. Keeping the Torah is what is righteous.
You have to include circumcision, circumcised too.
Yeah. Well, all of those things that's the covenant that he made with Abraham, and that is definitely something that we have to do. The men have to do, of course, and doing those things and keeping the law, his statutes and his commandments, we know that we have to do those. We know we have to do those. All right, let's move on. Here we go. We have Isaiah chapter 41. This is another one that deals with the wilderness. We're going to 17, verse 17 through 23. It says, when the poor and the needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongue faileth for thirst, I, the Most High, will hear them, and I, the Elohim of Israel, will not forsake them. I will open rivers in high places and fountains in the midst of the valleys. I will make the wilderness a pool of water and the dry land springs of water. I will plant in the wilderness the cedar, the shittah tree, and the myrtle, and the oil tree. I will set in the desert the fir tree, and the pine, and the box tree together. So he's going to plant trees. I'm telling you, stuff that's going to start popping up out of nowhere, and folks going to wonder what in the world is going on. Watch. That they may see and know and consider and understand together that the hand of the Most High has done this, and the Holy One of Israel has created it.
Hallelujah.
Any questions? So we know we're going to have plenty of water there. We're going to have plenty of trees there. We're going to have the Most High is going to be there. And it's going to be a totally different habitation than what we are dealing with today, because some of us never deal with nature. I know I don't hike. Some people hike. Some people like to be in the outdoors and to go through the woods and all the things that they like to do. And we have lived a life of shelter. You know what I'm saying? We have been closed up in our houses. We've enjoyed electricity and all of the things that have come with electricity, but this is going to be something totally different.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is he like what do I want to say? Reestablishing the Garden of Eden?
I wouldn't say that, but what I would say, let me shut up. I wouldn't say that. I think he's reestablishing something, but not the Garden of Eden.
Okay.
Daniel 9 and 27.
Who is that? Is that Leonard?
Yeah.
What'd you say, Leonard?
Daniel 9 and 27. What he's reestablishing.
All right. Well, you get that scripture, Daniel 9 and 27, and let us know what it says.
And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifices and the oblations to cease, and for the overspread and abomination he shall make it desolate. So that's when he made the land desolate. And so he's returning to the land, and he's bringing back all of what was there before. Well, if you look in Zachariah, he talks about the box tree and the myrtle tree. All those trees was there at first.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so
I could go with that. Let's say this, though. Let's try this. Is it possible? And I'm just asking a question. She said, what is he trying to reestablish? Let me ask this. Is there anything new under the sun?
No.
No. So there's nothing new under the sun. So does that mean that you're new?
No.
So no.
Well, okay, I can kind of like answer that. Now, on earth, I am new, but in the mind of Yah, I am not new because I was predestined.
Let me say this again. Let me ask you a question again, which is in the Ecclesiastes. Is there anything new under the sun?
No.
So you're not new either.
No.
Now, if that's the case, and you're not new, then the reestablishment to me would mean that he's bringing us back to Mount Sinai to do this thing all over again for us to fulfill what our ancestors weren't able to do.
That's right.
That sounds good.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay. See, I was going
this time it's going to be right.
Yes. Because it can't be wrong because he knew they weren't going to fulfill it when they were there. He told Moses that these people are not going to obey me. He knew they weren't going to fulfill it, but he allowed them to go through the process for what? So that we could reach back in this day and time and see our history.
Right.
We can verify that there were kings, that there was King David, there was Judah and Israel, the 12 tribes, and all the things that were going on. We can, at this day and time, we can look back through that Bible and say, okay, Israel was a real nation at one time. Israel was a monarchy at one time. We ruled at one time. And even though it was evil, most of the kings ruled evil, he allowed it for such a time as this because now we're getting ready to do it all over again. And we're going back to the same place.
Well, I guess this time he'll be taking the ones that want him.
Well, that's a whole nother story. We're going to see. All right. Anybody? I heard another sister talking.
I was saying that I was looking at it too. When you went back over Isaiah chapter 35, and there were no ravenous beasts, which there's no beast there, but he's establishing the trees like he established the trees before in the Garden of Eden, and we're eating off the trees and no animals to kill to eat the meat. And as you were saying that the life as we know it is going to be different, no electricity, no anything, but he was taking us back to the basics of everything, eating from the trees.
Well, that doesn't necessarily say that we're not going to have any meat either, because guess what? The children of Israel ate meat the first time. He brought them quail.
Right.
But I think what he's saying is that when we get there, we will not be in fear of the animals.
Okay.
You know that we're going because it's called the place of safety. It's supposed to be a safe place, and that we will dwell there in safety.
Okay.
So I don't believe that we will become vegetarians at that point. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We will learn because we're going to have animals there. What is the scripture that talks about the walled city? And that Magog is going to come up against Israel in the unwalled cities, and we're going to have animals and gold and silver. There's no need to have animals if we're not going to eat them.
Right.
Actually, there's going to come a time when we just bring those animals up for the offering, and we eat of the offerings.
Right. But you still eat an animal, though, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, of course. But now, here's the thing. You understand? I understand why people want to be vegan, etc. Because of this food this food is unclean. So if you look on the internet or you look on the History Channel, you see how they treating them animals, man. You understand? For them to produce what they need to do. You understand? It's a horrible thing to watch, man. Make you not even want to eat no meat. They got chickens. They say that they ain't feeding them chickens steroids, but they don't even look like chickens.
Right, but guess what? So is the vegetables. The vegetables have been tampered with, too. All of it has been tampered with.
Yeah, and guess what? Even the stuff they have for vegetarian and vegan people, because I thought about going that route, but the crap they put in it, the soy causes cancer, the tofu causes cancer.
That's
the
correct.
Stuff they put in the... So either way you turn, it's a toss-up. So do what you do, pray over it, and keep moving.
Well, thanks to all.
The ground itself is no good.
That's right.
This whole place is defiled. You understand?
The ground itself is defiled. Yep.
And the ocean, too. And the ocean.
Yeah,
that the octopus walking out of it.
Because Lucifer took it over, and because they have had access to do what it is they do, we understand that we are not living in the kingdom or the world that Yah created. He created the things in it, but everything has been altered. And that's why the wilderness is going to be a place of safety for us, because I guarantee you everything you put in your mouth is going to be A1 top notch.
Right.
From the water to the food.
You know what's so ironic, you understand, is that the Almighty is powerful beyond compare. He brought us into a land, and now the land is so defiled, you understand, that we must go back to a land, you understand, that has been set aside for us, you understand, where that has been, you understand, in its Shabbat. When we not there, that land is in its Shabbat. You understand? That means there's nothing going on. Even them Edomites that's in that land, or them so-called imposters in that land, can't even produce no groceries.
No.
And they trying their best, too. They trying their best.
But guess what? You only get to tell the lie for so long. It don't last forever. All right, let's move on. Here we go. Strong reason. He said, produce your cause, saith the Most High. Bring forth your strong reason, saith the King of Jacob. He said, let them bring forth and show us what shall happen. Former things, what they be, that we may consider them, and know the latter end of them, or declare us things for to come. So all of this stuff is going to come. This is down, he wrote this back then, but this was for a future time such as this. And we're moving up on that time really rapidly. Okay, now the question somebody will ask is, how will we get there? I've heard a lot of people say, I got to get my passport, or I'm going to have to save up some money, or I'm going to have to do this, or I'm going to have to do that. Watch what it says. Isaiah chapter 60, verse 8 through 10. It says, as fly as a cloud. He said, who are these that fly as a cloud and as the doves to their windows? Watch. He said, surely the isles shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring my sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Most High thy Elohim, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. All right. Now, anybody have any questions about that part? Somebody say,
what is he talking about? I got confused on that one.
We're going to be flying back there.
Say again?
Going to be flying. It sounds like you're going to be flying in a plane.
Well, guess what? Let me say this. I'm going to go there, and I know it's going to cost. I think that some people will fly there. Some people will go by ship, depending on the method of transportation that he makes available. Now, I've heard some of the Hebrews say that we're going by spaceships. I don't know nothing about that. Now, in order for us to get from here to what they call the Middle East, we cannot walk. But from wherever the landing point is in the Middle East to the wilderness, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to walk. This is just getting us from where we are into the Middle East. This is just my opinion. Nobody knows 100% for sure. We just go about what the scriptures say and try to reason out. But we know we're going by ship, and some will fly in there.
Well, one thing, if I may, you understand, is that the Almighty know I ain't got no money. You unless he send me that money so I can get out of here, you understand? If I had the money, I'd been left. And I believe that some of us, you understand, that had a way out of here will leave here early, and they may be able to go by plane. But they're going to cut that avenue off in a little while, that plane stuff.
I agree with you. I agree with that 100%. So, and then the thing is, I'm getting to you, Jalen, I heard you. The thing is about it is that this is going to be a window of opportunity. Let me say that.
Right.
This is not going to be a situation where people don't have a choice. People are going to, it's going to be something that is going to happen. Then we're going to get onto that next week because that's too much to go into tonight. But there's something that's going to happen that is going to give you the ability to be able to go back. They're going to make it available for you to go back if you want to leave. And they did that once before with Marcus. Was it Marcus Garvey?
Yeah, Marcus Garvey.
Marcus Garvey. When Marcus Garvey was trying, he had the ships and stuff waiting for us to go. And, of course, you know what they did to him. They stopped him because it wasn't the time. But even then, some of the African-American people who opted to leave, they were allowed to go, and I think they said they went over into Libya. So I think that...
Wasn't that Liberia?
Or maybe, I don't know whether it was Libya or Liberia, but they said they went over, they left their country and went into another country over in the Middle East. So I thought it was Libya, but it might be Liberia. I'm not quite sure.
It was Liberia.
Was it Liberia? Okay. But
yeah, but
for sure, we know
what that is that's not spoken of in the scripture to go to Liberia. The Almighty talks about the wilderness, and there's a and he's talking about the holy highway. You understand? And the holy highway, and it also gives and if you keep reading it, you understand, it'll tell you, you understand, that where that place of refuge is going to be.
We ain't going. You're going too fast, Brother Donnie. You're taking my message away.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
So what I'm saying, I'm using that as an analogy. I know that's not in the scripture, but what I'm saying is, as we get ready to prepare to leave, it's only going to be a window of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? For those who want to leave, they've made reservations or accommodations for you to leave. That means everybody's not coming the first time. So we have to understand that, and we're going to get into that, what happens for those who don't come the first time. Everybody's not coming the first time. All right, so let's move on. Oh, Jalen, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes, I wanted to know what verses in Isaiah.
Say again?
What scriptures were, I know you said Isaiah, but what chapter and what verse?
We did Isaiah chapter 35, and let's see what this one was. I forgot just it quick. My mind is
60,
gone.
chapter 60.
Chapter 60.
41.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. And we're going to get in there. All right, Isaiah chapter 23. Here's another scripture, 17 and 18. Isaiah chapter 23. It says, end of 70 years. And it shall come to pass after the end of 70 years that the Most High will visit Tyre, and she shall turn to her hire, and shall commit fornication with all the kingdoms of the world upon the face of the earth. And her merchandise and her hire shall be holiness to the Most High. It shall not be treasured nor laid up. For her merchandise shall be for them that dwell before the Most High, to eat sufficiently and for durable clothing. So when those ships come, and the Most High hires those ships to come, they're going to have everything that we need on there for us. Now, some people say, I've heard a couple of Hebrew teachers teach this, that this is not for the first wave. They say that this is for the second group of people who don't come the first time. But it stands hard to believe that the ships is going to come the first time and not have everything on it that we need.
Let me chime in. See, we're supposed to, maybe those of us that are not going to be able to make it in the first wave, you understand, we're going to be hid out, and they're going to send fishers and hunters to get know, that come in later on, you understand, and be a part of the ships of Tarshish and so forth. But could that be considered?
Well, he says he's going to save the 10th of Judah first.
Right.
So Judah's in America.
So Judah has to go first.
Let me say this here.
Judah has to go first, yeah.
The ones that leave, because everybody's not going to leave.
Yeah, well, let me say this here, is that could they possibly be in the first wave? You understand? Because, see, what's going to happen here is that Judah has to set up a government structure. Because we got 50,000 million different interpretations. You understand? And we all not going to go in there talking that nonsense. You understand? It's got to be a one-way system.
Okay, well, let's see. Can everybody see the screen? Because somebody is texting me saying they can't see the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Yes,
Boom, closing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so, like I said, we'll have to see about that, but, I'm sure that they're going to bring whatever it is that we need, but we know that the ships of Tarshish was going to be hired by the Most High to come and get us.
Can I say something?
Sure.
President Trump they've been likening him to Cyrus, right? And I was reading a little, and it was under Cyrus that those people were actually returned to the land of Israel. So they're making that analogy. He's our mechanism for getting back.
I don't know about that. I really don't know. I don't know about that. For real. I liken him unto Pharaoh.
Well, this is what people are saying. They're saying, oh, he's the Cyrus. But the thing about Cyrus was that in 70 A.D., he was responsible for getting the Israelites back into the land.
Now, I wouldn't say it was him, but I put him more in the terms of Pharaoh. I really do. Because of his mannerism and the things that he has done. Now, I wanted to bring us back to this particular scripture because it says at the end of 70 years. And I was wondering when that 70 years was, because some people think that it is a spiritual 70 years. But then I thought about it. I said, could it possibly be that in 2018, the fake Israelis have been in the land as of 70 years?
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
I thought about that, too, a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Because I was like, now, wait a minute now. We stand to reason that, Tyre would begin to start to, and that's, I believe that Tyre is in Turkey. Brother Lebanon, Lord. Brother Leonard, what do you think about Tyre and Lebanon? In Turkey.
Syria.
Well, what you're reading is he's talking to the captives in Babylon, because Jeremiah prophesied they was going to be there 70 years. And then at 70 years, they was brought out. That's why
I can't agree with that, because I'm going to tell you why. It's because this is talking about them bringing ships is coming, and because these are the ships of Tarshish again coming out of Tyre, and there was no ships of Tarshish getting them to Babylon. So this has to be coming to get us from these places, and I'm trying to figure out where Tyre is considered to be, because some people say Turkey. Yes, ma'am.
Tazor is a Phoenician city near the Mediterranean,
right?
Which is now called Tyre.
Okay. So we know that this is, like I said, at the end of 70 years. It says that the Most High would visit Tyre, and she shall turn to her hire and shall commit fornication with all the kingdoms of the world upon the face of the earth. And then after that, it says, that this her merchandise and her hire shall be holiness to the Most High. And it shall not be treasured nor laid up, for her merchandise shall be for them that dwell before the Most High to eat sufficiently and for durable clothing. Now, they may even bring the stuff to the wilderness. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? We just don't know. Okay, now here we go. All right, so we know that once we get there, we have to go to the wilderness. We're going to have to go to the location of the place where we went. And when we understand how he did it the last time, what does history usually do?
Repeats itself.
Repeats itself. So when we go in Exodus chapter 23, verse 20 to 23, it talks about a particular being that was there to help them to get to where they needed to go. Now, we know that in Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1, if somebody could get that for me, I would appreciate it if they be ready to read it for me. It says in Exodus 23, verse 20 through 23, this is Exodus chapter 23, verse 20. It says, "Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared." That's what he said. "Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him." All right. "But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thy enemies and an adversary unto thy adversaries. For my angel shall go before thee and bring thee in unto the Amorites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Canaanites and the Havites and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off." Now, we know that he sent an angel before them to go before them to lead them into the wilderness the first time. But what does he say in Daniel chapter 12, verse 1?
Michael.
Come on here. Come on, read it. Who got it? Did anybody get it?
I got it, but I got the... Go ahead, because I got hallelujah scripture.
Read.
At that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that is found written in the book.
Yeah. All right. So now, guess what? He sent an angel the first time, and guess what he's going to do for the second time?
He sent an angel.
He sent an angel. Michael coming.
Yeah.
I want to add to that.
Michael got to come, because this will be the last time that we will be taken from any lands of anywhere. This is going to be it for any of them that have enjoyed us as a spoil. This is it. Any questions?
I want to add to that.
Yes, sir.
Exodus, you read Exodus 23 and 20. Right. He sent an angel, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, look at the curses. Verse 15 says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God." So it's the angel talking to them.
Right, absolutely. And it's the angel talking to him in the wilderness. Well, because guess what he said? He said, obey his voice. He said, beware of him.
Right.
Obey his voice.
So they're not dealing with they're dealing with this angel. When you understand what's going on, they're dealing with this angel, not the Most High.
Exactly. Because he sends the host to that's why when Christianity taught us, they was like, it was a cloud by day and a fire by night. No, it was a vehicle. That was a vehicle. And the angel was there, leading us into the wilderness. And the same thing that happened the first time is getting ready to happen again.
Wasn't that angel the Messiah, because it says the arm of Yah?
No, that was an angel.
Wasn't it Messiah that was doing all that in the Old Testament?
We're not going to deal with that today. We'll move on to that at another time. I want to deal with the wilderness and stay with the wilderness, but as far as leading us into the wilderness, that was an angel. Because he clearly tells you, let me go back and read it again.
Yeah,
Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Watch what it says. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions. For my name is in him. So that was an angel. And that angel, the same way they did it the first time, they getting ready ready to do it the second time. This time it's going to be the captain of the host, and that's going to be Michael.
Yeah.
Michael.
All right, watch. Here we go. So where is the place? And then guess what? It's getting ready to be Goshen all over again. Somebody tell me what happened in Goshen. When the children of Israel, before they left, and all of the plagues was hidden in Egypt, how was Goshen treated?
Oh, yes, well.
Hey, that would be, yes, hallelujah, that would be great.
It's getting ready to be Goshen all over again. Because Goshen was what? Safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting ready to give you a scripture that we was taught of in Christianity that was taken completely out of context. Watch. Psalms 91. Everybody know this one. He said, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall do what? Shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
Shadow of the Almighty.
Oh, watch. Somebody said that couldn't mean that. I will say to the Most High, he is my refuge and my fortress, my Elohim, in him will I trust. Watch. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His trust shall be thy shield and thy buckler. Watch. Thou shalt be not afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrows that flieth by day. For we're going to be protected just like Goshen.
Yeah. I see.
Nobody's going to be able to get to us. Nobody's going to be able to do nothing with us. Because guess what? We're going to have the full protection of the host of heaven.
Another thing about that too, when you look at when the land was divided by lots, the 12 lots, Goshen is part of Judah's inheritance.
Well, that may be possible. Watch what it says. For the pestilence that walketh in darkness, for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand. He said, but it shall not come nigh thee. So as we get into that wilderness and all the killing and stuff is going to be done and all of the wars is going to be going around, guess what we're going to be? We're going to dwell safe.
Right.
Those that make it the first time. All right. Only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Now, how we going to see it if ain't no TVs over there? How we going to see the reward of the wicked? Ain't no cell phones, ain't no TVs, ain't no nothing. How we going to see the reward of the wicked?
Well, it's going to be going on all around us.
All around us. So we going to hear it. We going to be able to, it's going to be powerful. I'm telling you, because no matter what happens, we're going to dwell safely in that land. He's going to put us to the point where we ain't going to have to worry about it no more. Watch. Because thou hast made the Most High, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. He said, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. But he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways.
Hallelujah.
You're going to be protected. Nobody's going to bother us. And I say I hope everybody on this line listening under the sound of our voice is ready to go when the time comes. Don't hold none of this stuff to your charge. Don't make this stuff be powerful to you. None of the riches that we shall attain in this life, in this world here, can compare to the safety and the place that we're going to be that the Most High has prepared for his people.
Right, right.
Hallelujah.
But the biggest thing is to know when to leave. Because a lot of us say, well, when is that time going to be? Watch. They shall bear thee up in thy hand, lest thou dash thy foot against the stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder, the young lion and the dragon shall thou trample under thy feet. He said, because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him, and I will be with him in trouble, and I will deliver him and honor him. He said, with long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. All right, so watch now. All right, so any questions about that? Because everybody, you know, we used to recite that whole Psalms 91, you know. We used to recite that all the time, but he said, they that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High. We used to always think that was a mindset, or that was a place that you went to in prayer. No, that's a physical place.
Yeah.
I got a comment.
Yes, sir, because everybody's not going to be able to go in there. That's going to be guarded by the angels, and everybody's not going to have access to it. But guess what? Let them tell it. They coming too.
What if they try to come?
Wait, hold on.
It's not going to go well for them.
It's not going to go well for them. The Most High, you know what? You can't try to do something that's not in the will of the Most High.
Right.
You can't. You can't slide in, you can't slip in, you can't sneak in.
Right.
We talking about beings, supernatural beings that are going to be there to make sure that Israel is protected. I told y'all, once this happens and we complete our curse, the whole host of heaven has access to the children of Israel all over again.
I actually think when it says how will we see it, I can see big jumbotrons where we can go and watch. We may not have like handheld technology, but look, I can see us having access to all kinds of information, and I don't see it being destitute at all.
Possible. That is quite possible, because we are definitely going to be we're going to be have access to the supernatural. Definitely. If the angels is going to be there to protect us, we're going to have access to the supernatural. So who knows how we're going to see it? But the scripture say we're going to see it. Brother Donnie, I had a comment. Is Brother Donnie still there? Hello?
Yeah, hold on. Oh, okay. All right. What I wanted to say is that I know this sounds far-fetched, for us not to have, connection with our Almighty for all of this for 400 years. We can't even fathom all of these things that the Almighty is talking about. You understand? I don't know how the Christian people think, but I'm sure that this is new. This is not going to happen. All they can see is, leave it here. You understand? But they can't fathom how the Almighty loves us. If you go back a couple of those slides, man, and read forward again, it shows you how the Almighty is going to prepare us and putting us in place. These things are powerful, man. I believe in everything that the Almighty has put before us in those scriptures. You understand? I know it's difficult for us to understand that, but I'm telling you, I can see it. Almost verbatim.
All right, let's move on. We're going to go to Hosea, because Hosea's off the chain, too. Guess what he said? He said, I'm going to lure you there. He said, I'm going to allure you there. Allure means what? Entice you. Right, he said, I'm going to entice you there. Hosea chapter 2. We're going to Hosea chapter 2, verse 14 through 22. He said, therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her. And I will give her her vineyards from thence, and the valley of Achor for a door of hope. And she shall sing there as in the days of her youth, and as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt. This is the valley of Achor. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, man.
Wow.
Boy.
Wow.
That is absolutely beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? I'm sorry you guys can't see, but this is the valley of Achor. He said, I'm going to give it to her.
We ain't got no day. Look at there ain't no high buildings and all of that stuff.
Oh, ain't none of that. No,
I'll take a tent.
It's going to get real simple again.
I'll take a tent. Boy, that's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
All right, I got more. Hold on, let me give you this. Here's another picture of the Valley of Achor.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Wow. He's going to give it to us. All right. And it goes into the journey of Abraham, and I found it where it was on here, but I had to figure out where it is again. Hold on, I'll bring us back to that one. Hold on. Okay, what is Achor? Valley of Achor. Achor is the name of a valley in the vicinity of Jericho. All right. The history of Achor, the man who brought trouble to a nation. It did not take Joshua long to discover that his defeat at Ai, after a succession of victories, was due to some transgression of the divine covenant. Somebody know what happened at Ai? Nobody can tell me? Watch. It said, thus, as a result of injury, Achan was exposed as the transgressor, and confessing his sin in stealing and hiding parts of the spoil taken at the destruction of Jericho, was put to death in consequence. Watch. In keeping with the custom of stone with his immediate relatives and their dead bodies burned, the later making punishment more terrible in the eyes of the Israelites. Achan was put to death in the valley of Achor, meaning the valley of trouble. The valley being called later Achor, who had been the troubler of Israel. He says, thus in 1 Chronicles 2 and 7, Achan is spelled Achor, but the valley of trouble became a door of hope of all, which is spiritually suggested in Isaiah 65 and 10 and Hosea 2 and 15. Here it is again. He said, we're going to be singing when we get there. It's going to be joy when we get there. Why? And now we back at Hosea chapter 2, verse 16. He said, and it shall be at that day, saith the Most High, thou shalt call me Isha, or Ish, and shall call me no more Baal. What does that mean? He said he gonna be our husband. He getting ready to marry Israel again.
Yes.
And he said, no more. Watch, for I will take away the name of Balaam out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And we ain't gonna be calling him Lord and God no more. That is not his name.
Right. Right.
That means Baal and El and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. We ain't going to be doing that no more. He said, and in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth and will make them to lie down safely. He said, and I will betroth thee unto me forever. Yea, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness and in judgment and in loving kindness and in mercies. In mercies, watch. He said, and I will even betroth thee unto me in faithfulness, and thou shalt know.
Go ahead.
No more of that. More different kind of relationship. It's going to be a different kind of love. And there's going to be those that are willing.
Yes.
To do that. All right, watch. He said, and it shall come to pass in that day, I will hear, saith the Lord, I will hear the heavens, and they shall hear the earth. Watch. And guess what? We're going to have access to the supernatural. Watch. He said, and the earth shall hear the corn, the wine, the oil, and they shall hear Jezreel. Somebody explain to me the corn. Wait a minute, hold on, let me finish. And I will sow her unto me in the earth, and I will have mercy upon her that have not obtained mercy. And I will say to them which are not my people, thou art my people, and they shall say, thou art my Elohim.
My Elohim, yes.
All right, anybody else? Anything else? Anybody tell me something about the corn and the wine and the oil?
Corn? No.
Don't get quiet on me now.
Food? Was it food for corn? I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't know for sure.
That's a homework assignment. Find out what that means.
All right.
Find out what oil and the corn and the wine means.
Blessings. That's blessings.
I might say, he said blessings.
That's what it is.
Then it say blessings. All right, next phase. Anybody have any questions? Where is the place of safety? Somebody want to know, where is this place? Where are we going? This is very key. Edom, Moab, and Ammon. Somebody said, what does that have to do with the wilderness? What does Edom, Moab, and Ammon have to do with the wilderness? Well, let's see. Biblical history. The biblical people called by the names above once occupied territory we know today as Jordan, the nation due east of Israel.
That is correct.
Not many people realize that Edom, Moab, and Ammon were given their homelands by the Most High himself, just like Israel was. He said, watch Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 1 through 5. Watch what it says, the land of Edom. He said, then we turned and took our journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea, as the Most High spake unto me, and we compassed Mount Seir many days. Watch what he said. And the Most High spake unto me, saying, ye have compassed this mountain long enough. Turn you northward, and command thou the people, saying, ye are to pass through the coast of your brethren, the children of Esau, which dwell in Seir. They shall be afraid of you. Take ye good heed unto yourselves, therefore. Watch what he says in 5. He said, meddle not with them, for I will not give you of their land, no, not so much as a footbreadth, because I have given Mount Seir unto Esau for a possession. That's their land. The Most High gave that to them.
Yes, he did.
Any questions?
Yes, can I add something?
Yes, ma'am. Please do.
Yes, shalom to everybody. My name is Jeanette. I just want to share something that the Most High has been showing me for a long time. And as you all was talking about the how we're going to be able to see all these things that's going to be coming around us. Now, what he has been dealing with me for a very long time is that when we get over into the wilderness, that we're going to be purged. Everything's going to be purged and going to be clean, because nothing that is mortal can stand in the presence of Almighty, all of him. You can't stand in from him. We have to be clean, so he's going to purge us out. And we're going to become, after he takes us to the wilderness, like I said, we're going to 3.5 years, we're going to be taught and everything. We have to be clean. And he's going to change our bodies from mortal to immortal, into immortal bodies. And we're going to become spiritual beings. And he was telling me, just like a transformer changed from its one state of form to another state, that's how our body's going to be changed. As we become spiritual beings, we're going to be able to see just like him. And that's what he has been showing me and teaching me for a very long time. And that's how we're going to be able to see all the things that's coming on our enemies, because we're not going to be seeing with our natural eyes. We no longer be in our natural bodies. We're going to have spiritual bodies.
All right. That's all right. Well, that's what she said the Most High showed her. Anybody else have any comment about the Mount Seir?
Well, that's Zechariah chapter 12, what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And, I mean, it's a lot of things, but he had given me so much information. I've been studying on the subject, and he's been bringing this to me for a long time, which I've almost written several things that he had revealed to me, so much more that he has given to me. But I'm getting to understand now, and I know how we all going to be able to see what we're going to see, because we can't see these things. Like faith now is the substance of things hoped for, and the evidence of things seen. We cannot see anything in our natural eyes. We have to be in our spiritual eyes to see beyond those things, and that's the way we're going to have to be when we get into that wilderness. We're going to have to be changed and transformed from our natural being to a spiritual being. We're going to become just like him in our spiritual bodies.
All right. Anybody else have a comment? All right, here we go. Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 9. It says, and the Most High said unto me, he's talking about the land of Moab now. He said, and the Most High said unto me, distress not the Moabites, neither contend with them in battle. For I will not give thee of their land for a possession, because I have given Ar unto the children of Lot for a possession. So here's another one, Moab, Ammon, and Edom. So we touch Moab, and we touch, Esau, which is Edom. Now watch what he says. He said, and when thou comest nigh over against the children of Ammon, distress them not, nor meddle with them, for I will not give thee of the land of the children of Ammon any possession, because I have given unto the children of Lot for a possession. So this is very powerful. Why does this matter? Because guess what? Everybody in the book has a landmass that the Most High has given unto them for a possession. And he was telling them, whatever you do, don't bother them. Now, this was back then. Why do you think this is important now?
Because we got land.
Because we got land, but why is it important now with those three?
Because maybe they're going to help.
Say again?
Maybe those are the three who are going to help us.
Oh, watch it now. Those are the three that don't help us. Wonder what they going to help us with. Let's see. The same service. It says, even Moab and Ammon were told to perform the same service for Yah on the eastern side. Watch. Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 10 and 12, 20 and 22. It said, the giants, the Emans dwelt therein in times past, a people great and many and tall as the Anakim. That's what he said. Which also were counted giants as the Anakim, but the Moabites called them Emans. The Horims also dwelt in Seir before time, but the children of Esau succeeded them when they had destroyed them from before them. Now we're in Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 20. That also was accounted a land of giants. Giants dwelt therein in old times, and the Ammonites called them Zanzunim. 21. A great people, many and tall as the Anakims, but the Most High destroyed them before them, and they succeeded them and dwelt in their stead. So wait a minute. So the Most High destroyed the giants off of some land, and he gave it unto the children of Lot, and he gave it to Esau. Right?
Okay.
Right. And as he did to the children of Esau, which dwelt in Seir, when he destroyed the Horims from before them, and they succeeded them and dwelt in their stead, even unto this day. And just like the Israelites were told to clear the land west of the Jordan River of the people who lived there at the time, and dwelt in their stead, as Israel did unto the land of his possession, which the Most High gave unto them. So he did those three nations the same way he did Israel. He said, clear it out, and you can have it. But there was a problem. What happened? Did somebody know the history of what happened when we was coming through their land? What they did to us, Brother Doniah?
They didn't help us.
They wouldn't help us. They wouldn't help us. They wouldn't let us.
And that's what made the Most High mad.
It made him mad, didn't he? He said, I gave you this land and you ain't going, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It said the Most High gave the Moabites and the Ammonites land east of Israel, extending from Jabbok River in the north to the Zered River in the south with undefined eastern boundaries. Watch. Now, why is that important? Because guess what? Here we go. Daniel chapter 11. Anytime we deal with the Old Testament, when we're dealing with the wilderness, we got to go to the book of Daniel. Daniel chapter 11, verse 36 through 43. We're almost wrapping this up real quick here in a minute. We're almost done because I want to give everybody a chance to say something. It says, Daniel chapter 11, verse 36. It says, and the king shall do accordingly to his will. And he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every God, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished. For that is determined shall be done. Watch. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers. What does that mean? Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers. In my opinion, he has to be an Israelite.
Right.
He's got to be an Israelite. He's got to be of the serpent seed. He's got to fulfill his mission, because why would Daniel talk about him not regarding the God of his fathers? And guess what? And if this man is going to be evil and this man is going to step on the scene and profess to be Yah, we are not going to accept the white man doing that.
Got to be that black pope.
You better stop. I wasn't going to go there. I'm not going to mess with you today. I'm telling you, I'm not. I'm not going to do it. He said, nor the desire of women, nor regard any Elohim, for he shall magnify himself above all. You got to be an Israelite. For us, if it were possible, the very elect would be fooled. We're not going to be fooled with a man from another nation. We're going to know that off the rip. Like, no, that ain't him. So it has to be an Israelite.
Right.
Because guess what? If a Caucasian man step up there, we're going to know that ain't true.
That's right.
Watch what he say. But in his estate, he shall honor the God of forces. A God whom his fathers knew not shall he honor with gold and silver and with precious stones and pleasant things. Now watch. Watch what he say. Thus shall he do in the most strongholds with a strange God, whom he shall acknowledge and increase with glory. And he shall cause them to rule over many and shall divide the land for gain. Who is them?
Sound like the Catholics already did that.
Who is them? That's not the Catholics. He's talking about the God. He's talking about a God in this scripture. Who is them? Let me read it again. And he shall do in the most stronghold with a strange God, whom he shall acknowledge and increase with glory. And he shall cause them to rule over many and shall divide the land for gain. Who is them?
Would it be the fake Jews?
Say again?
Would it be the fake?
How did you get Jews out of this? I'm trying to figure out how you came to that.
I was just thinking the fake ones are already over there, and I figured the black pope's going to go over there and say, oh, I'm God.
Okay, let me read it again. And he shall
What verse you in? What verse?
I'm in verse 39. Daniel chapter 11, verse 39. Thus shall he do in the most stronghold with a strange God, whom he shall acknowledge and increase with glory, and he shall cause them to rule over many and shall divide the land for gain. Who is them?
Is that not like the fallen?
Thank you. Out of the mouths of babes, here we go. Watch. And at the time of the end shall the king of the south push at him, and the king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind, with chariots and with horses and with many ships. And he shall enter into the country and shall overflow and pass over. And he shall enter also into the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown. Watch what he said. But these shall escape out of his hand. Watch. Even Edom and Moab and the chief of the children of Ammon. Sister Sanaya, tell them again why these three are important.
Because I believe that they know who we are and that they're somehow, some way going to help.
They're going to help us, and let's see why. The land of Esau, Moab, and Ammon. It says, based on existing conditions in the world today, we would interpret this prophecy as pertaining to Jordan. The land of Jordan. Here it is. Here's the kingdom of Ammon. Here's the kingdom of Moab. And here's the kingdom of Edom. These three are going to be saved. They're going to be left out. He's not going to take over these three.
But are they all three considered Jordan, or are they three separate countries? Because I know Edom or Esau would be Jordan, but I thought Ammon, the Moabites had some different land somewhere else.
Here's the map right here. All of this is one land mass.
Yeah, Ammon.
All this is separate. Now they're separated by countries, of course. But it's all one land mass. Why?
So, okay.
Here we go. Here it is again. Ammon, Moab, and Edom. Somebody said, what is that?
Petra. Now I get it.
What is that? Anybody know where Petra is?
That was a city.
Where is it located?
That Esau? Oh, man.
Yeah, it's Esau, right?
It's in the land of Jordan. It's in the Jordan. It's in the land of Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan. Right.
This is some pictures of Petra. Any questions? I take you.
Yeah, I have a comment. In certain parts of Jordan, some of us already reside there.
Yes, ma'am, we do. Yes, ma'am, we certainly do. Yes, ma'am, I agree with you 100%. Look at that. Beautiful places. We're going back to the land where our forefathers walked. Beautiful land. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. And now we're living in the projects in the south side of Chicago. I mean, we have fallen low. Do you hear me? I mean,
yes. Yes, very low.
You know, now, and I don't mean to come down on Chicago, any project in any city, anywhere we live in, we are living low.
You're right, but Chicago is one strange place. I don't know what it is, but they are strange.
You know?
They do some.
And look at all these beautiful landmasses. Look at this gorgeous stuff. And we have reduced ourselves down to being in these places because we were disobedient to the Most High Yah.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to stop here because it's 5 o'clock. I don't want to load you down with too much information. We will go over the whole Petra scriptures and all the things pertaining to Petra next week. So we have some information because I have given you a lot of information today, and I didn't want to overload you. I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to soak it all in, because then next week we're going to deal with the timing. When will we know that it's time to go? Because the Bible covers all of that. But I can say this much, is that when it comes time for us to leave and they make it available for you to leave.
I'm out.
Don't second guess it. Don't leave. It's time to go. Let's go. Because everybody's not gonna go at the same time. Everybody's gonna make excuses. Some people gonna listen to their husbands. Some people gonna listen to their wives. And then, baby, I ain't wonder why I just got this brand new job. We just bought this big home. This can't be it. Don't pay. You leave this stuff behind. We're going to go into how long we're going to be there. We're going to know in the signs and how long we supposed to be there. All of that next week. Any questions at all whatsoever?
How did you know, or why did you say that in, I think it was verse 39, they were talking about, because I just didn't see that.
Where are you talking about? Let's go back.
I think it's 39 where you said that who were they talking to about, and I think Jalen said fallen angels, and I was thinking maybe the fake Jews or the Roman Catholics.
Okay, well, let's go back over it again. Let's go back to 38. But in his estate, that means in his power, he shall honor who?
The gods of forces.
The God of forces. So we're talking about gods right now. We're not talking about Israel. And that's one thing we have to do, not read anything into it. Read it for what it says. A God whom his fathers knew not, nor shall he honor with, shall he honor with gold and silver and precious stones and pleasant things. So we're talking about a God right now that nobody knew. He's going to honor this God. Right? You follow me there?
Yes.
Okay. 39. Watch. Thus shall he do in the most strongholds with a strange God. We still talking about gods, right? Right?
Okay. Right.
Whom he shall acknowledge. He's going to acknowledge these gods with increase and with glory. And he shall cause them to rule over many and divide the land for gain.
Well, I can maybe see it where it says he will cause them to rule over many. I can see the fallen ruling over many.
Because the gods are coming back. They're coming back to the land. They're coming back to the earth. They never left the earth. They're in the end. You know, somebody sent me an email, and I ain't going to say her name because I don't want to get her in no trouble. Talking about the earth is flat. Please don't send me no more emails talking about the earth is flat. Please do not do that. Because as many scriptures as we have given, stop listening to the white people. Tell you the earth is flat. Because as many scriptures as we have given about the gods coming out of the inside of the earth, coming up out of the earth, the giants are supposed to come out of the earth from the when the witch of Endor brought Samuel up out of the earth. There's no way for the earth to be flat in all of that's going on in the earth. There is too much history going on right now with the Antarctic and the inside of the earth and the kingdoms that are inside of the earth for the earth to be flat. Stop listening to them people on YouTube. The Bible says that they are in the inside of the earth. And for you all who believe in the Messiah, he went into the earth 3 days and 3 nights. How is he going to do that if the earth is flat?
I'm not agreeing with the earth is flat, but when you say how could he do that, I'm thinking just go underneath the earth, you know?
Ain't nothing underneath the earth but the sky.
That's right.
But the Bible describes it as an orb or sphere.
Right. And it's
round.
Footstool.
It's round, but everybody, you know what? These people, and you know, I'm gonna steer you from a direction. Please be very careful with trying to study on your own. You know why? Because people veer off to the left, and they go into stuff, and they listen to you know how I know? Because every time something comes up on YouTube, somebody brings it to the class. It's the Shemitah. And I'm like, what the heck is a Shemitah? The Shemitah coming. There's nowhere in the scripture talk about a Shemitah.
That's a Jewish stuff. What is it?
What is it?
What is it?
Oh, my God.
I missed that one.
That's
Jewish.
Oh, my God. We Jewish.
That's Jewish.
A Shemitah is 6 days, 6 years you keep the earth. The 7th year is the land supposed to rest.
Okay, but what is that in the
Did you believe?
Is that the
No. 6 years. 6 years. The most I have a covenant with man, and the covenant he have with man is 6 days he's supposed to work, and the 7th day he rest. But he have a covenant with the earth too. 6 years you till the ground, and the 7th year you let it rest.
Okay, but that word is not in the
Shemitah.
That scripture, that word is nowhere in the scriptures. That is something that the fake Jews came up with, and we gravitate to that every time.
Well, if you dove into it, when Israel did not keep those 7 They didn't keep that Sabbath year for 490 years. So you get 7 Sabbath years out of 490. That's why they had to go to Israel. That's why they had to go to Babylon for 70 years. What Israel is doing today is they playing the role as the Most High. They keeping the Shemitah, and they bringing judgment on different lands every 7 years. And what this guy has figured out is that every 7 years a judgment comes, but it's not from the Most High. The Israelites are doing it. The Edomites. They playing the role of the Most High.
That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm not negating the history. You're absolutely right with the earth and the covenant. I'm not saying that. Right. I'm just saying how we as Israelites, because we want to belong, I don't know what it is, we gravitate to everything those people do. Everything. And that's what, we try to, and with the moment they say, okay, you can come back, but you got to convert to what we're doing. You're not like, no, we're not going to convert. You already converting because everything they do, as they bring it to this September the 23rd, oh my gosh, this is going to be the doomsday. No, it came and it went. Now they got some new stuff out there about this supposed to be this civil supposed to happen. Guess what? It's going to come and go. They put this something out that the EMP was supposed to strike today, and it's going to be going on for 3 or 4 days. That came and went. We still got electricity, and we still ruling. We have got to be like a tree that's planted by the rivers of water. Not be moved because we know what these scriptures say, and we have to follow these scriptures and do what it says. They are not to dictate any, and the whole world is running to a frenzy every time they say something.
That's true. I have the little kids asking me stuff like that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Little kids are asking that. They're scared. Wow.
And then they came out with this teaching, the earth got to be flat. Let me show you. And I just turned it off. I'm like, man, I'm not listening to none of that garbage. The earth is not flat. So we have to come to, sometimes you just have to just be careful. Just be careful. Because everybody's grown on this line. You're going to do what you want to do. But just be careful, especially when it comes to what they are saying. Because if you really listen to it really closely, they want to be us so bad. They got the whole world against to say us. And you know what I'm saying? They setting the trend for everything. And we're not supposed to follow behind them.
Right, that's right. That's right. I learned to do the opposite of what they say, really. Okay. Because they do, like we say, black lives, they're making it a big deal that white lives matter.
It's like, look, let's just do what we are supposed to do. The Most High has them in that position. Let me put this on the record. I'm not hating the Israelis. The Most High has them doing what they're doing. He has them in the position that they are in. Or else if he wouldn't, he would have removed them a long time ago.
Right. That's right.
They're serving a purpose. They have to fulfill their purpose just like we do. But we're not supposed to look at them and be doing what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's right.
How are we gonna be peculiar people if we following other people that's not a people?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to say that when we talk about the enemy and the gods, they are coming back to the earth so that they can rule again. This. You know what? And I haven't even gotten into how fast technology is speeding up in the things that they're doing. I mean, it's unbelievable. We're in the dark because they are really moving fast.
Yeah.
They coming up out of them holes in the earth when the Most High give them the go-ahead. The giants is coming back. All this stuff is getting ready to change. That's why he said it's going to be a day that has never been nor ever will be.
Yeah.
No, they're going to pull out. They're not pulling out no stops. Everything is going to be okay. Everything's going to be allowed. Everything's going to be acceptable. Everybody's going to be doing anything they think is possible that they want to do. And you're going to really be the odd man out there.
It's almost like that now.
Yeah. He told us that many will come in his name that will deceive us. So we got to know that's what he's already spoken. And like you said, with all the things that's going on, that the teaching that a lot of teachers are teaching on YouTube and things like that, I mean, we have to be very sensitive to the leading of the Ruach, of his Ruach, his spirit, because he's going to teach us all things.
Yes.
And the word says that he will bring all things to our remembrance. But he also wants us to discern these things, but also we have to wait on him, because he will give us the revelation, the wisdom, knowledge, and confirm these things. So we have to be mindful that we just don't pick up everything and we run with it. We got to
You better be careful, like she said.
And
better be careful what you're listening to.
Right.
You know, they want to get on there and philosophize from an Israelite standpoint. If it ain't true, it just ain't true. There's no, because you know what? You lose credibility when you jump on every bandwagon that's floating across.
Right.
And you got people all up in arms. Oh, my God, this is it. And then don't nothing happen. They ain't going to listen to you no more. They're going to be like, man, you tripping.
Absolutely.